Have you ever felt that no matter how well you try to manage your time, you always have to sacrifice something? If you dedicate yourself to working hard, you might have less time for your family. Or if you choose to exercise for a healthier body, you might have to trade away hours of rest. This feeling of having to pay a tax for every choice you make isn't just a concern for corporate employees or busy stay-at-home parents. It is an iron rule embedded deep within the genetic code of every living thing on this planet. Scientists call this the principle of evolutionary trade-offs. Its meaning is simple yet profound. An organism cannot maximize every advantageous trait simultaneously because we all face the constraints of finite resources, such as energy, nutrients, and time. In the world of evolution, there is no such thing as a free lunch. Every time your body develops a new capability, you must pay a tax in the form of a weakness elsewhere. Today, we will dive deep into what we humans have agreed to pay in exchange for becoming the dominant species we are today. Imagine your household budget. In biology, we have a concept called the Y model, which explains that the resources an organism acquires act like the stem of the letter Y, which must eventually be split into two primary paths, survival and reproduction. If a creature pours its energy into growing until it is massive, it has fewer resources left to produce offspring. Or if it chooses to have a vast number of children, the body often lacks the budget to care for them or keep them strong for long. Why hasn't nature created a Darwinian demon, a perfect being that runs the fastest, lives for 10,000 years, and has hundreds of thousands of offspring at once? The answer lies in an economic concept used by biologists called the Pareto front. In engineering, when you design a car, you must choose between speed and fuel economy. You cannot maximize both to the extreme at the same time. Living organisms have evolved to sit on this balance line as well. To be exceptional in one task, they must accept a decrease in performance in another. The most relatable and fascinating example is our own brain. According to the expensive tissue hypothesis, the reason humans could evolve such large, intelligent, and energy-hungry brains is that we agreed to pay the tax by reducing the size of our digestive systems. Our ancestors shifted to a high-quality, easier-to-digest diet, allowing the body to divert the energy budget away from a long intestinal tract to feed our hungry brain cells. This is the mysterious deal that made us smarter than any other animal, but it also left us with a more fragile digestive system than many other species. Even at the level of our genes, we see these somber exchanges. It has been discovered that certain genes, such as the APOE epsilon allele, likely helped our ancestors by providing better immunity against parasites and increasing fertility in young adulthood, which was crucial in harsh ancient environments. However, today, as humans live much longer, the hidden tax of that same gene has turned against us, significantly increasing the risk of Alzheimer's disease in old age. This is evidence that evolution primarily cares if we survive long enough to reproduce, regardless of whether we must pay the price with chronic illness decades later. In the plant world, the situation is no different. Plants must choose between growth and defense. A plant that invests heavily in thorns and toxins to ward off insects usually grows slower than a plant that focuses on spreading its leaves to catch the sun. Yet nature has a small cheat code called phenotypic plasticity. Instead of paying the defense tax all the time, some plants only activate their immune systems when they detect a predator is present. Think of it like a company that only hires security guards during high-risk periods to save its budget for expansion during normal times. Understanding this law of exchange completely changes how we view ourselves. Many times we may feel frustrated by our physical flaws or illnesses that seem senseless, but in reality, we are not flawed beings at all. We are optimal designs created by the best possible compromises that natural resources and constraints allow. For parents trying to allocate time for their children or employees managing projects at work, knowing that we cannot have everything at once does not mean we are failing. It is simply accepting the reality of life. Evolution teaches us that success is not about being the best at everything, but about finding the best point of balance within the context of where we are. In the near future, scientists are attempting to use technologies like machine learning and single-cell genetic analysis to find ways to hack or bypass these evolutionary constraints. Perhaps one day we could grow crops that are both fast-growing and disease-resistant without a trade-off, or develop medicines that reduce the health tax we pay in our later years. But until that day comes, let us take pride in the body and intellect that are the result of millions of years of profound compromise. Evolution is not a race for perfection. It is the art of allocating limited resources to create the highest value for existence. And once you understand this rule, you will find that the beauty of life does not lie in winning at everything, but in choosing what is most valuable to you and being willing to pay the price for it.